The night it began was quiet. No alarms, no flashing lights in the sky, no warnings, only silence. Dr. Elias Moro, an astrophysicist stationed at a remote observatory in the Chilean desert, was used to silence. It wrapped around the mountains every night, broken only by the hum of machines and the whisper of wind. But tonight, the silence felt different. It felt aware. At 2:17 a.m., a soft notification echoed through the control room. Elias barely looked up. Random signals were common. Cosmic background noise, satellite interference, nothing unusual. Then the sound repeated, identical, precise. Elias frowned and turned toward the screen. The data originated from a region of space officially labeled empty. No stars, no galaxies, no known anomalies. And yet the signal was there. Clean, repeating, structured. Elias zoomed in, his breath slowing. The waveform wasn't random. It followed patterns, mathematical ones, prime numbers, fractal sequences, intervals too deliberate to be natural. "This can't be noise," he whispered. The realization hit him slowly, and then all at once. Someone was transmitting. Over the next 72 hours, Elias barely slept. He verified the data again and again, running independent analyses, rerouting antennas, eliminating every possible human source. Nothing explained it. He sent fragments of the signal to trusted colleagues under strict confidentiality. The replies came back unanimous. This is not a natural phenomenon. The signal repeated every 33 hours. Each time it grew more complex, as if the sender was learning, as if it was listening for a response. On the seventh transmission, everything changed. The signal carried visual data. At first it was static, shapes, shadows, then clarity. Elias stepped back from the monitor. It was a face, elongated, hairless, smooth gray skin, and eyes, large, black, reflective, not hostile, not friendly, empty. "They know what we look like," Elias whispered. But how could they? The next image answered his question. Earth, captured from orbit, then another angle, then another. Positions no satellite should have reached. Angles that suggested years, no decades of observation. "They've been here," Elias said quietly. Behind him, the door opened. Men in dark suits entered the room. No insignias, no introductions, only authority. One of the men placed a thick folder on the desk. Inside were documents marked classified, photographs, eyewitness accounts, recovered materials. Dates stood out: 1947, 1948, 1949, 1950, UFO crashes, abductions, unexplained encounters. "We thought they were studying us," the man said, "but now we believe they were waiting." "Waiting for what?" Elias asked. "For you to hear them." They weren't visitors from a distant galaxy. They were something else. They didn't travel through space. They shifted between dimensions. Time didn't bind them. Gravity barely affected them. Long before humanity existed, they had seeded Earth with primitive life. Not as gods, not as creators, but as observers of potential. Humanity was never an accident. We were a continuation. The last transmission arrived without warning. No code, no images. Only words translated instantly across every system connected to the network. "We observed. You learned to listen. The next step is choice. We will not come as gods. We will not come as enemies. We will come as witnesses." Elias stared at the screen. Witnesses to what? The answer didn't come from the sky. Across the world, people began dreaming the same dream. Massive silhouettes standing at the edges of cities, silent shapes hovering above oceans, a presence felt, not seen, and a voice, not spoken aloud, but heard inside. "Are you ready to know who you truly are?" Some woke up screaming, others woke up calm, changed. Governments deny everything. Officials call it mass hysteria. Astronomers are silenced, but the signals still come. Quieter now, waiting, because the aliens were never here to invade. They were here to watch us become something else. And when humanity finally answers, they will be listening. Not everyone woke up the same. Some people returned from the dreams with fragments, images burned into their memory, symbols they couldn't explain, coordinates they had never learned. Others woke up with knowledge. A woman in Japan suddenly understood advanced mathematics she had never studied. A man in Brazil could describe star systems that did not officially exist. A child in Norway drew complex diagrams of circular structures buried beneath ice. Doctors called it coincidence. Psychologists called it mass suggestion. But Elias knew better. This wasn't information, it was activation. 3 weeks later, Elias was flown to a place that officially didn't exist. Beneath the desert, hidden under layers of rock and secrecy, was an underground facility older than any public space agency. Inside it was an archive, not human, smooth black walls without seams, symbols etched into the surface, glowing faintly when approached. This was discovered in 1959, one of the officials said. It wasn't built by us. Elias felt his chest tighten. The symbols on the wall matched the patterns from the signal. They didn't arrive recently, he said. They've been here longer than recorded history. The archive contained recordings, old ones, audio from a failed experiment in 1963, a team of scientists attempting to communicate after detecting early anomalous signals. They succeeded, briefly. The speakers crackled, then a sound emerged, layered, harmonic, impossible. Then a voice, not spoken, translated directly into the mind. You are not ready. Moments later, every system shut down. 3 scientists never woke up. Their brains showed no damage, only emptiness. They could have contacted us at any time, Elias said. So why now? The answer was hidden in the data. Humanity had crossed a threshold. Quantum computing, artificial intelligence, deep space listening arrays. We had finally built machines capable of hearing across dimensions. The signal wasn't sent to us. It was always there. We had only just learned how to listen. Another recovered message appeared in the archive. Incomplete, damaged, but clear enough. We do not fear your weapons. We do not fear your numbers. We fear your potential. Elias understood. Humanity wasn't dangerous because of violence. We were dangerous because we changed too quickly. We adapted, we questioned, we created, and sometimes we surpassed our creators. The beings were not explorers. They were not conquerors. They were curators. Civilizations across the universe were guided, observed, occasionally corrected. Some passed the test, others didn't. The archive showed images of planets, ruined, silent, abandoned. Species that reached too far, too fast. Species that destroyed themselves before understanding who they were. Earth was approaching that point. The next global transmission arrived without warning. Every screen, every device, every language. Your world stands at a division. You may continue blind, or you may remember what you were meant to become. Images followed, humanity but changed, not unified by governments, not ruled by machines, but connected, conscious, aware of the universe beyond matter. This isn't an invasion, Elias said. It's an invitation. Not everyone welcomed the truth. Some governments prepared weapons. Some leaders demanded control. Some tried to shut the sky itself. Secret tests were launched. Missiles vanished mid-flight. Satellites went dark, not destroyed, simply removed. The message was clear. Resistance was unnecessary. On the final night, the sky changed. Stars shifted slightly, too slowly for panic, too precisely to ignore. People stood outside without knowing why. Children felt no fear. Animals were silent. Elias stood beneath the open sky, the signal echoing softly in his mind. "Are we ready?" he whispered. The answer came gently. "You never were. That was never required." They didn't land, they didn't descend. Reality simply adjusted. The air vibrated. The world felt wider. And then they were there. Not ships, not bodies. Presences, seen differently by everyone. As light, as shadow, as memory, as truth. History would later struggle to describe that moment. Some called it first contact. Others called it awakening. But the watchers called it something else. Continuation. They had never come to judge us. They came to see what we would choose to become. And for the first time, they stopped watching.